Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Bettor Mark. Welcome into the June 20th, Thursday Major League Baseball betting card. I'm going to break down for you guys with my 4 best bets that I'll have in today's contest, as well as a couple no-run first innings. I'm not really going to give out a parlay of the day within today's plays because a little shorter of a card, so I really had to pick my spots. Apologies for yesterday not having a video out. Work schedule was kind of crazy and just kind of one of them days where didn't really like anything. So no video yesterday, but we are back. 4 best bets today. Let's get down into it, okay? Before we do, though, guys, do me a solid. It's totally free for these picks, for what I do here. All I ask is that you guys smash that like button and subscribe down below. Also, if you like talking sports, hop on over to the Discord. Totally free. Really big community that we're starting to build over there as well, where we do some cool stuff from time to time. So let's get down into it, and let's talk about the picks as we dive into the odds jam. This is where we're going to have a very short card today. We have 9 games on this Thursday, and it's okay because there's a lot of spots I like. I'm going to give you guys pretty much a play or a lean in each and every game. However, there will be 4 bets that I will be playing in today's contest. Okay, first one up is Arizona and Washington. Okay, we're going to look into the likes of Ryan Nelson and Mackenzie Gore. I was doing some some research, and there's a lot of people out there that are looking to take the Diamondbacks in a situation. I have a hard time betting against Washington, and I really can't find a reason to bet against Mackenzie Gore. He's been absolutely fantastic thus far. I know the record's 6-5, but if you look kind of deeper into what he's been doing from a game-to-game standpoint, and it's kind of crazy to see the value that they got him on in terms of still being basically on a rookie deal. But coming out of that 2017 draft, he's really ascended very quickly into the major league ranks. And you can look at some of the game log. Starting off the season, he has since improved since the start of April. And in June, it's kind of been pretty much, June and late May, it's been pretty much a dominant performances. Going 7, 5, 4, 5, 7 innings respectively. His hits... it's kind of middle of the pack, but giving up probably on average 5 hits a game, and if you look into the earned runs, he's throwing deep into games, 100 pitches for the most part, getting up to close to 100. I just don't understand why there's no love right now for Mackenzie Gore in this game, and I really looked into this game a little bit deeper because by my numbers, I wanted to take the Arizona Diamondbacks on the money line with a plus 136 price, but I just have a little hesitancy betting against the Nationals and Mackenzie Gore, so I'm going to stay away from it. But I do like the Diamondbacks. If I was just going to, if you were going to force me to bet this game, I would be taking the Diamondbacks on the money line at plus 127. Okay, next one, Seattle and Cleveland. This is going to be kind of a grudge match between this classic rematch of the solid 1990s teams we got to see between these two clubs. But within the Mariners, getting blanked last night, Cleveland kind of exploded. We saw an outstanding effort from BB, and the rest was history. So winning that game with margin, with ease, I don't understand kind of why we're seeing the Luis Castillo versus Logan Allen matchup kind of, I guess, really one-sided. Cleveland is a plus 104 favorite or underdog at home. That's very glaring to me. A little bit of a zig maybe with what's going on with the odds makers, but I can't really get down with Luis Castillo kind of being that much of a road favorite. I looked into some of his numbers as well. Great pitcher from a strikeout perspective, but Cleveland kind of hits that kind of pitch. What he looks to be his out pitch, his kind of the way he attacks hitters. That's something where I think Cleveland was going to have success with. I think I'm going to have to lean with Cleveland. I don't really understand the numbers here, why they're basically a plus price at home. That's something I don't agree with. Castillo's been able to go semi-deep in the game, 6-5, 7, 6-5, 6, 6, 6 innings. So, really flirting with that hit that out prop as well. But he's been pretty much low in terms of what he's been able to do within his whip. So whips at 1.14, 1.16, 1.15. So it's something where, I can't not agree with it, but I just think Cleveland is going to have some success hitting that kind of little like running fastball that he likes to throw. Earlier in the season, April 2nd, I think there was some injury coming back for Castillo, but this is something where you look into this game, he gave up 10 hits on 4 runs and 4 earned runs. So that's just kind of, playing into my narrative, right, where Cleveland's going to have somewhat of a different shake against these other teams. I think we're using some of the, the games against substandard competition, right, to formulate this handicap. I just don't agree with it, right? In the month of May, I know they faced Baltimore, New York, and Houston a couple times, so he was able to mow through some of those lineups. But I don't know. I watch a lot of Cleveland Guardians baseball, and pretty much every single day, that's at least one of the games that I have on my screens. And every time that Castillo back with the Reds, back with the clubs that he's been pitching with, they've been able to get him and get his number. So maybe just a little bit of a overthinking this one, but if I had to bet it, it's Cleveland Guardians plus 104, not even a question. That's kind of where I'm at in this, because I do think even if he comes out of the game in the 6th inning, the Indians still have a chance late. That's also part of the handicap as well. Okay, Tampa, Minnesota. We're going to go with the Twins, a little zigzag, minus 119. Simeon Woods Richardson, probably one of my go-to guys as well. 2-1 on the season, 3.29 ERA. All day we're taking the Twins here in this spot, minus 119 at home. I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I have to look in this one a little deeper, but I believe within this game, within the Twins and Rays, so they've split thus far. So close 1-run ball games. So there is a little bit of a metric that you can get into if you want to look for a run line, but no value with that. I'm just going to take the home team to take the intra-week series and come away against the Rays 2-1. Zach Liddell too is 2-5 with a 4+ ERA. So I like the Twins at home to bounce back off yesterday's loss, and get the job done. Okay. Next one we're getting into is the likes of the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. We're going to skip over that Houston game for a sec. I did some kind of looking into some lefty-righty splits. Because the Dodgers are off a loss, I really would like to play them. Not too often you get to see them against sub-500 teams at less than a $2 price. And that's what we're seeing today. Gavin Stone, 7-2 with a 3 ERA going against Ty Blatch. Dodgers are kind of bottom third when it comes to facing left-handed hitters. We saw that years ago. Last year, Freddie Freeman was really struggling at times against lefties, but I do trust the Dodgers lineup to have a lot of clutch hits. That's one thing about the Dodgers is I know they lost yesterday, I think 7-6, kind of a streaky game. It was one where they went down 3 and it was tied 3-3, and then they went up 6-3, and then they ended up losing 7-6. So shout out to anybody who rode that roller coaster with the Rockies money line and or the Dodgers money line, unfortunately. But this total's gotten out of control. Last night we saw it go to 13, and now this is moving from 11.5 up all the way to 12.5 in some spots. So my only play in this game would be kind of taking the under. I know it sounds crazy, but both of these teams could score upwards of 7+ runs each. It's just some weird thing going on right now with Coors Field. We've seen this from some crazy totals, and with what I'm going to be doing here in this game, I will be favoring the under, just because a little bit of regression. The Dodgers always have that opportunity to throw kind of that door shut and get a stuff, especially against a lineup such as the Rockies. I know they've been playing pretty good baseball, decent baseball, I should say, from a numbers perspective. And I could see this game going both ways, so I'm going to stay away. But if you made me bet it, I would take the under. Anytime you can find a 12.5 in a baseball game that's not played in Mexico City, I'm going to be on that under. Okay, but let's get up a little bit and talk about the White Sox Astros. Kind of an interesting spot as well. The Astros are on that no bet list, but yesterday I did like them a little bit more so than today. We have. A lot of the betting splits are favoring the Astros as well, winning 4-1 against the White Sox. Spencer Arrighetti, though, for the most part, is something very interesting because his ERA, he had a couple rough outings, and his ERA has dropped considerably, down from like 10 to 6. So he's been coming on strong as of late, but nothing crazy, nothing Cy Young-esque, but enough where it's serviceable, where he's going to give Houston a better shot than what they've had in kind of the games leading up to basically being a 500 ball club. Okay, 34-40 for the Astros on the season. Pretty much the most disappointing, I think, team for this season thus far. Start off this major league campaign, but we look into some of the things that Chris Flexen can do. Conversely, he may not even go 4 innings in this game, so that's something where I wouldn't favor the Astros. But at a $1.60 price, I'm not going to get involved. So that's just kind of where I'm at in this game. So if you want to get into it, it's Astros or nothing, but that price is a little bit too much for my liking. Okay, Kansas City and Oakland. This will be an official play. We will be taking Kansas City on the road, losing yesterday, I think 4-1 to the Athletics. But we have a very strong chance today with Seth Lugo going for the Royals. His road splits are absolutely fantastic. Going against Mitch Spence, let's just bet against the Athletics too, for that matter, not to win 2 straight. The Royals have been kind of lackluster hitting the baseball as of recent. Another play in this contest that I like would be taking the under, and that will be my official play. Will be the Royals under 8. I think this number will shift to the 7.5. Which is crazy, though, because we're seeing a ton of money on the over, but we're seeing that number shift down from 8.5 to 8. So that's what tells me that I'm on the right side and where I need to be in this bet. So I'm taking the under 8 in this bet. So hopefully we get another strong performance from Seth Lugo, kind of stifle the Oakland hitters, and Kansas City, has been struggling to score some runs as of recent. In their last 3 games, I know against kind of different competition, but scoring 5 against the A's and then 1 in last night's game. So this is one where they need to win. They got their best pitcher going to settle the score and not get swept against the Athletics. So Kansas City, strong lean on that money line, as well as the likes of taking the under 8 will be an official play. Okay. So thus far, just to recap a little bit, we have the Royals under 8 and the Twins money line. That will be the 2 plays that we've gone over thus far. All right, 3 games left. Let's knock them out. We'll save this one till the end because I do have an official play, but let's skip over it and go to that Giants-Cardinals game. Keaton Winn and Andre Palante. No real kind of feel in this game, just going to be honest with you. It's going to be interesting, though. It's being played in Birmingham, Alabama. So, different kind of setting. It kind of takes a little of the statistics out of the play, kind of like what we saw with the Field of Dreams when they play, up in the cornfields, and awesome when they do that game, but I still think it does impact the numbers a little bit. So just from that standpoint alone, I'm going to stay away from this game. So no play or lean, just due to the kind of neutral venue. All right. Then we're going to get into the Brewers Padres, the last game on the card, the only late game we have. This is one where we see Bryce Wilson and Adam Mazur. Adam Mazur 0-2, 7.82 ERA. I'm going to use the same logic I did with his first outing. Okay, his first outing we took I believe the over, and we bet against the Padres. I think they won, and it was a low scoring game, and he threw a gem, but not so fast. Last game out, numbers weren't as strong. And that's kind of where I'm at within this game. So I'm going to be taking the Brew Crew. Basically even money. You can find minus 106 in the market. Bryce Wilson's been pretty good. He can get the job done. And if you look into last night's game, you can see exactly what I'm talking about because they were able to kind of weather that San Diego Padres lineup, which, quite frankly, I don't understand how the Padres can't, dealing Soto and what they got in return, and I know a lot about minor league prospects and who they have in their farm system, and it's very shocking to me that the Padres are kind of where they're at. I think they just have too many personalities. Personally, they're a team that I would love to just lay a futures ticket on 1 year. Because they do have the potential. Yu Darvish getting up there in age, but for the most part, they do have that potential. I know Joe Musgrove's been kind of a letdown, but being a 500 ball club with that lineup, it's something where it's kind of showing you how this, not so much Moneyball is paying off in Major League Baseball, but it's lending its hand to some of the teams that don't necessarily spend the money. Okay. And that's kind of what we're getting into, I think, a little bit. You're seeing it with the Cleveland Indians. They're due to have a bye if the playoffs would start tomorrow. So crazy stuff. It is what it is. But like I said, we'll be taking the Brewers on the money line in this matchup. Kind of a fade against Adam Mazur in his third start. Okay, last game on the card is the Yankees and Orioles. This game will be very exciting. 4:05 first pitch. Hopefully I get done golfing. I can end up watching this game. I want to see how the Orioles do against Luis Gil the second time out. Very strong Cy Young candidacy, 9-1 on the season, 2.03 ERA, and 96 Ks. So I looked back into his first start against the Orioles, and I don't like betting against the Baltimore lineup, but I am going to preface this all by saying that his first start in the month of May was against the Baltimore Orioles. He went 6 1/3, 2 hits, a walk allowed, struck out 5, and he had a whip of 1.19 in that game. Since that point in the season, he's brought his ERA after that game down from 3.2 roughly all the way down to a sub 2 as we get into this June 20th game. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think this is a very strong lean towards taking Luis Gil in a prop. Okay, and also this is kind of a little bit of an insight into what we were able to see within his pitch counts and so on and so forth. He gets his pitch counts up a lot, and this is kind of where I'm at. And you can see where I'm going to bring down the numbers here very shortly. This is where we're going to look into the player outs for Luis Gil. It's 17.5 right now, so essentially what that means is we need him to go 6 innings. He did that pretty much in every game in the month of May, but his last two starts, he went 5 innings complete in 5 2/3. Conversely, it's that start against Baltimore, he did go 6 1/3. So I'm going to do a little bit of a reversion in this. Baltimore must struggle with him a little bit. I look for that performance to happen again. He ended up throwing 95 pitches in that outing. That's going to be the biggest concern. He threw 104 against Boston. But that was against Boston, in Boston, a little different ballpark too, giving up 4 hits and 1 earned run. So I look for this to be a little bit different. I think that he's going to get to Baltimore's lineup pretty decently and able to go 6 innings. Kind of a contrarian play, if you will, but we'll be taking Luis Gil over 17.5 outs, I apologize, at a plus money price. Okay, so I just don't think he's going to go less than 6 complete in 3 straight starts, no matter what lineup he's pitching. And he has kind of had the trials, right? Going against the Dodgers, going against Boston, in Boston. That's always an issue, as well as now facing this tough Baltimore Orioles lineup in a divisional contest. So those will be my 4 bets. I'll break them all down for you guys. Also, look at oddsjam. I have a link in the description. You can see right here what I'm doing here. Really makes every single bet I place easier to make. I find the best number available. and especially within the prop markets, you can get into some crazy stuff and check it out for yourself, because it's not just that, but bet tracking. You can look at it from a value of the actual sportsbook screen. You could switch to that view. That really makes it easier. That brings up injuries, all this good stuff. Also, positive EV. Check that feature out. You can look for the best promos out there. Also, the arbitrage feature is very, very fascinating. Gives you and sorts by all the books. So just for this example, you could take the Arizona Diamondbacks Nationals game and have a 6.47 arbitrage profit by taking one sports book. You can get plus 135 on the Mackenzie Gore over, and on one sports book minus 104 on the under 17.5, allowing you to make up that middle, which would equate to about 6.47 in return for that arbitrage opportunity. Very fascinating. It takes really a lot of the guesswork out of it. But the biggest thing too, guys, if you're into fantasy, it's not just what you're doing within. It's not just what you're doing within arbitrage and positive EV, but fantasy, once that kicks up for some NFL, this is something that I'll definitely be using as well. So that's kind of what I have. A little bit of a recap of the picks, but if you guys want to get signed up for oddsjam, links down below. Use promo code TBM to get a 35% off your monthly and or annual plan, whichever you elect to sign up for. But this is a recap of the plays. We're going to be going Royals under 8, Twins money line, Luis Gil over 17.5 outs at a plus number price, and Brewers money line minus 106. No runs first inning. I like Baltimore, New York, and I like Kansas City and Oakland in those two plays if you guys are into nrfis. Full disclosure, every time I bet Baltimore in a no runs first inning, Gunnar Henderson hits a home run. So make sure you guys all take that Gunnar Henderson home run prop, that he gets that leadoff slam, because that's just how it's been. It's happened twice to me this season. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below on your way out. Check out the links to get over to oddsjam as well as my Discord, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.